Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. So I've kind of touched on this before in terms of very lightly, but I wanted to spend an actual video talking about something that's hopefully not underrated per se, but maybe kind of slightly slept on, and that is outfits and outfits cosmetics and enhancing them and the materials used for them, right? And the reason I wanted to touch on them is because one, it is not only a valuable resource and will actually honestly really help your heroes, but two, it'll also it's the reason why, maybe you go into a PvP fight and you all have level 100 fully essayed heroes and the guy opposite you has a higher CC, right? And it's like, why is that the case? And sometimes it's stuff like constellations, but a lot of the time it's to do with the actual cosmetics, right? So first things first, I'm going to break down what the outfits, weapons, cosmetics, etc. actually is, the closet is, how it affects your hero. Then I want to explain my recommendations for investing into them. And then I want to explain how you get them, right? So that's kind of the high level, and I just made up that agenda on the spot, so if I deviate, apologies. First things first, the closet. So I have touched on it in one of my original videos when I first started on this beautiful journey that is YouTube. But there's three different types in the closet. There is outfit, weapons, and then there is cosmetics, right? Each of them have their own different kind of play and what they do to your hero, and each have a different ability, or not ability, sorry, each have a different kind of number of, say, defense or something that they increase. So let me actually pick a hero that that has more than 5, just so I can show you guys an example. So let's say you're looking at Gotha, right, and you have a closet. So you have actually, as you can see, you have a little hanger here up on this rung, and you can actually pull things up and down onto this rung and onto this hanger, and you can have a maximum of 5, right? So the actual style that you pick doesn't affect your combat class. It doesn't affect kind of these stat boosts. What only affects the stat boost is what is up on this rung, and what level that is, right, and how close to max, etc. it is. So, for example, each piece of UR, so let's say I take off all of these, right? Let's just take off all of these to show an example. So, if I have all of these off and no up on the rung, I have no defense boosts at all, right? Well, let's say I put one piece of SSR equipment up, that'll give me 120 increase to my defense on the outfit side, right? Now, that's 120 for an SSR piece. That is 180 for a UR piece. And then it is, I believe it's 210. Yeah, 210 for a maxed UR piece, right? So you can actually take an SSR piece, use the enhancing materials to get it to UR, and then that will change it to 180, and then you can get it from UR to max, and obviously UR max is the max it can be. So the more, if you have max 5 on here, that will be the max amount of defense you can get increased, and then obviously if you max out each of these UR cosmetics, that will get you the maximum amount of defense you can get out of your cosmetics. So if I go back and put all of these back up for me, so I want to use all my UR pieces, and I'll put them all back up on the rung. So now I have an increase of 930 defense, 5% crit resistance, 11% resistance, and 8% crit defense, on top of what I would usually have of nothing, right? So this is added to my hero in terms of overall CC, combat class, etc., and stats. Now this works across the board. So outfit is for defense and defensive stats. Weapon is obviously for attack and attack stats, right? And then cosmetics is for HP and HP stats. So the more outfits you have, and the more cosmetics and the more weapons you have, the higher your stats will go, and the more invested in those cosmetics you are, the higher those stats will go again, right? So that's really kind of critical for you actually gearing your hero. So like, for example, if I take my Meliodas and I've got full UR gear, which is great, but I actually am losing out on CC if I don't have these cosmetics that I do have maxed. Right, now these cosmetics you can also, and like outfits and stuff, you can also get from either buying them, so you can actually spend money on them, you can spend gems on them, or some of them are available from the Hawk Pass shop, which I'll get to later. So that is what cosmetics. I'm gonna call them cosmetics, but they're basically anything in the closet, right? It's an outfit, weapon, and cosmetics. This is what I'm talking about. This is why they're important for your hero and how they'll help your hero. So let's say, I mean, like for example, on my king, I have max 15% attack on his attack rolls, and my attack is 15,900. If I actually bought another weapon, whether it be from the Sacred Treasure Shop, right? So I can just go now and go to the Sacred Treasure Shop, and I can either buy it or I can just spend 30 gems on it, right? And when I do, I get more crit chance, more crit damage, and more attack. And then if I max this piece of gear, that'll go to 210, right? So this is the benefit of having those cosmetics, and then that'll increase my attack up over 16k. So that's the power of the power of like I said, the closet and the different weapons and cosmetics you get. So now this is the balance for everyone. Is obviously if you're whale, you just buy all the cosmetics and you're good to go. But if you're not, you kind of got to balance. Okay, do I want to spend my gems, which I use on summoning as well, right? Like you're not just using these on cosmetics, you're using them on drawing for heroes if you want to, right? You say you want to draw on Valentine's King, you've got to spend gems for it. Or do I spend items? Do I spend these diamonds in investing in cosmetics for my heroes that I don't have, right? So like if I'd actually, maybe during the sale or whatever, bought these Estarossa pieces, right? I'd have an increase of at least another 500 defense, 500 attack, 500 HP, right? And then they go to max. So this is something you have to balance in your own gameplay. I've kind of made a weird, not pact with myself, but a weird thing where I don't actually want to buy any cosmetics. I don't know why, but I kind of just want to save my gems for summoning, and then I'll slowly collect the different cosmetics as we get them, right? So for example, in the Sacred Treasure Shop for Hawk Loyalty Pass, I can actually get these. So I'll spend those on it, but I don't want to spend my actual diamonds on those as well. Now, how to unlock all those different cosmetics and clothing items, you can do it, as I said, through spending gems or buying them. You can also do it through the Sacred Treasure Shop. So when it says pass loyalty on top of it, like here, what this means is you can actually use scraps bowls to buy them, right? Which is really, really cool. So this is why doing these daily missions and weekly missions is really important. I've still got to do these two, but that means I can actually buy my Estarossa weapons if I really wanted to, right? You can also get them from this loyalty shop, but these are not URs, these are just SSRs. But again, will still increase your overall stats, right? So, helpful there. Now, hopefully that makes sense. And going on for it, it's like, how do you enhance them, right? Like, how do you get them to max, and how do you maximize the gears? And that's pretty straightforward. Basically, if you go into each hero, as you guys were seeing before, you can actually just click on it and go enhance costume, and it'll utilize the enhanced materials that you do have. You need the fabric for the outfits, as you can see. You need the crystals, the brilliant components for the weapons, and then you need, lucky last, you need the alluring perfume for the headpieces. Now, when you go to enhance them, an SSR piece will take 60 of these units to get all the way to 100% and go to UR, and then that will take you to UR. Or, if you're just doing a normal UR piece, it'll actually only take 30 to get to max. So efficiently wise, it actually makes much more sense to invest in your UR pieces of gear, obviously, rather than your SSR. Now, that being said, if you don't have, the full, like if you've only got SSR pieces for that piece of gear, for that hero, and you want to invest in them, you can spend the 60 and then the other 30 to get them to max. I wouldn't really recommend doing that unless it's like an absolutely must-have hero or must-use hero that you have. As you can see, I've done the UR pieces actually. Let me go. I should do the UR pieces here. I'll just do that now actually. So that's me using the UR pieces, so 30 rather than saving up the 60 to get that SSR piece up, right? So I'm investing in the UR pieces because it's a little bit smarter use of my resources. But yeah, as you can see, for heroes that I have, well, I've been using all the time, like Deanne, and then like, Liz, I've maxed out everything. And then same thing with like Purgatory Meliodas, the Ultimate, the One Escanor, all that kind of stuff, right? Like they all have maxed cosmetics. So this is kind of like the final frontier in terms of like maxing out your hero in terms of his capabilities or her capabilities. Is you want to level 100, you want to fully super awaken, and then you want to make sure you go into the closet and do these cosmetics. Now, all those different components and stuff that I was talking about, how do you get them? Right, so let's have a look. So if I go here and I go location, this will obviously show, I mean, this is you can do this on any or all of the different, you know, whatever it is you want, you can find the location of them. But how to get them, the main thing is you want to make sure you're doing your deathmatch and deathmatches daily, right? Which is and obviously, you know, the current, well, I'll get to that in a second. But you want to make sure you're doing all your deathmatches. So your deathmatches is when you go to battle, and you do your boss battles, that's the death match from this, right? So you want to make sure you're doing this. This is how you collect the additional materials, and this is how you kind of just slowly collect them every single day. So this should be something that is part of your dailies. You clear these all the time. Like I said, I have kind of covered that in a previous video, but that is one of the most common ways that people get them. The other way you can do it is actually in the special dungeon here, and you do it, I think it's in the gold one. Let me just have a double check. Yeah, it's in the gold one, right? So if you spend 20 of these gold hero coins, which I might actually do next time and give it a test, because I've never actually done it. I've always used my gold coins for super awakening someone. But you can actually unlock them here, right? So you can actually unlock and get these each time you do a clear. So whether or not you think that's worth it is up to you, whether or not you want to keep the gold coins for something else, like awakening someone or spending it in the shop, or whether you want those enhanced materials, you can do it here through that as well. The other thing to always keep an eye out for is obviously events. All right, so getting these are part of the current events and quite common in events because they're very much sought after. And the other place to do it as well is in the Tower of Trials. So as you can see, there's 50 there. You know, there's that's diamonds. Another 50 there. There's 50, 50, 50. So they're all showing up here as well. And you want to make sure you're collecting them from basically wherever you can. Right, first time clear reward 50, 50, 50. So I do have, again, a guide on how to do the Tower of Trials if you guys want to check it out. That'll help you clear that. But that's basically the main sources of where you get them. You can buy them also at the Brawl Shop. I don't, like, as everyone probably is on the same boat, but no one really likes Brawl that much, but the Brawl Shop is actually kind of good. So once you go through the rotation and the cycle, you can get to down here and you can buy them as well, which obviously I do every single time. So that'll give you, so each time 3 of each, that'll give you 30, so that'll give you a full UR piece of gear enhancement. So that's kind of cosmetics, right, guys? Like that on enhanced materials, right? So they're in your closet. They improve your overall stats and combat class of your hero. They're very much worth investing in, especially if they are like a hero that you use all the time. It'll help you out CC your opponents and just give you that extra bit of boost, whether it be PvE or PvP. Again, it doesn't matter what ones you necessarily have on, right? So I can actually change into this if I really want to, and I can still look like this, but I won't. I'll be using the stats from these ones because these are the ones that are up on the rung. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps some of you guys out there. I know it can be sometimes a little bit confusing, but you can have a maximum of 5 up here. And that is, yeah, kind of what you guys want to, oh, there we go, change. That's what I want to do. That's kind of it, right? So make sure you're leveling up your outfits, your weapons, and your cosmetics depending on the hero, and spending that wisely. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.